Do not even get me started. Why do you have a right in what I do with my body?
It's not your body.
It is my body, my choice.
No, but the child inside you isn't. When does it become a child for
It's
you?
my body. I would have to carry the child.
Yeah, but when
Why?
does it
You
become
don't have to carry the child.
Yeah, but when does it become a child for you? When?
It's still a baby inside, but I have every single right to decide what I do with my own body.
Baby. It is a baby then. It is a baby inside you then.
No, it's not. It's a fetus.
But you just said it was.
It's a fetus.
But you just said it was.
It's a fetus.
Well, what's a fetus?
First, illegal immigrants power our economy. They're 50% of U.S. farm workers, harvesting the food on our tables, and fill 70% of construction jobs in states like Texas. They pay $13 billion annually in taxes, including $2 billion to Social Security that they can't claim. Deporting them would slash agricultural output by $60 billion and raise food prices by 6%. Why gut our farms and wallets when these workers fuel our prosperity? That's my first point. Second point, they strengthen our communities with lower crime rates. So in Texas, undocumented immigrants have a 26% lower homicide conviction rates. So, which is 2.2 per 100,000 versus 3 for native-born citizens. Nationally, immigrants are incarcerated at half the rate of native-born, where it's 0.85% versus 1.71%. That's according to Bureau of Justice Statistics from 2019. So if safety is your goal, why deport people who make our streets safer? This is my third point. Mass deportation tears apart American families. Over 4.4 million U.S. citizens, children have an undocumented parent, and in Texas, 1 in 7 kids lives in a mixed status household. Okay, this is my fourth point. Deportation is a fiscal nightmare. Removing 11 million people would cost $315 to $400 billion, more than the entire Homeland Security budget, and shrink our GDP by 1.7 trillion over 10 years. And this is my last point. Our immigration system is broken, pushing people to cross illegally. Visa waits Mexicans can exceed 20 years, and the asylum blockage is 1.3 million cases, with hearings 4 to 6 years out. Okay.
You done?
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
All right, so without looking at the phone, look at me. What should the penalty be for breaking into America?
I think there should be a system where it's more merit-based. So if this person...
No, penalty. So what is the penalty? So what should happen to you?
It's not a felony, it's a misdemeanor.
No, it is. That's not true. It's 8 U.S.C. 1312. You can look it up right now.
It's a felony if it's done twice. If you try to cross the border, that is correct.
That is not correct.
I Googled it, dude.
To illegally go across the southern border with the well intent to come in to harbor yourself into the interior of the United States, the violation of 8 U.S.C. 1312, which is a felony in the federal criminal code. Now, it can be enforced as a misdemeanor, or it can be upwards to 5 years in prison. Now, I want to know, since it's a felony, law in the books, 8 U.S.C. 1312, what should the penalty be?
Well, in my opinion, these kinds of laws are usually they're what do you call it? They're sorry. Usually the sorry. Wait, sorry. Can I check my phone real quick? I apologize. Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
What should the penalty be for someone that breaks or comes into America illegally? What should the penalty be?
I think there should be a merit system where the people... Okay, the penalty... All right,
that's not the answer. It's a very simple moral and legal question.
Okay,
what should the penalty be if you come into America illegally?
Okay, so since it's a misdemeanor, not a felony, misdemeanors
I just told you it's not 8. You can look up on your chat GPT what is 8 USC. Look up what is 8 USC 1312.
No, I know. I've already looked it up.
Yes,
when it's your second time crossing the border illegally, then it becomes a felony.
It can be, and it is enforced as a felony. And it usually is done as a misdemeanor citation because no one has the stones to do 20 million felony, applications.
Okay.
So I just want to ask, what should the penalty be then for someone that comes into this country illegally?
Usually, there's 3 ways that go about this when there's a penalty. There's either like a fine, or there's some kind of public service that this person does. Or you send them back. But
send them back. I agree. That's what we should do.
Okay. So this is interesting. So one of the statistics that I read said that illegal immigrants don't cause as much like they don't break the law as often as people who are native born.
Well, hold on, time out.
That is a statistic.
But
time out.
But
dude.
every single one of them are criminals. They're all criminals.
Okay, sure. By law.
Well, hold
by
on.
law.
No,
okay,
no, no.
by law, of course. Of course they are.
Wait, so if
if
they commit less crime and they're all criminals, wait a
Okay,
second.
so
By
you're
definition,
yeah.
they all have broken the law by being here, and they break the law every day by staying here, because you're
Okay.
actually not allowed to stay here either. Do you know that?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
every
yeah.
day you're here, you're actually continually breaking the law. You can't break in or harbor. That's what the federal law says.
Okay.
So by breaking in, it's not just the only law they broke. Every second you remain here, you're also breaking the law. So that statistic is invalidated by just them breathing here. They're breaking the law.
No, of course not. Of course not. So, of course it makes sense for them when they're here, they're breaking the law because they're illegal immigrants, obviously. But once they're, okay, yeah, of course. So once they are here, what kind of harm are they actually doing? When you look at the numbers statistically.
A lot.
No, that's not true. Okay,
Black
so look,
wages have
in
gone
Texas,
down.
Okay, in Texas.
DUIs have gone up dramatically.
Try not to interrupt, bro.
Well,
Okay,
hold
so,
on. I'm interjecting, and I let you go uninterrupted with your whole soliloquy,
true, yeah,
right?
yeah, thank you.
So let me ask you a question, though.
Okay.
So, if it is correct
Yeah.
that illegal aliens commit less crimes, which of course it's not correct.
That is correct. Look it up. In
but
Texas, they made a study in 2019. 26% are
is
lower.
any crime? It's just not correct. But I'm
That
not going
is
to debate that.
correct.
It's I just proved it at its face because they commit a crime by being here every day. That is a crime.
Okay, once they are here, what kind of crimes are they committing? Which is
Okay. Well,
they're 26%.
okay. Do you know the name
less.
Laken Riley?
No, educate me.
Oh, you don't.
No.
Watching how mainstream media has gotten into young people's minds is honestly terrifying, ladies and gentlemen. It's honestly terrifying because you see kids walking around repeating headlines like they are facts. Can you imagine? And it's not because they are thinking for themselves, no, but it's because that's what they have been fed to believe all their entire lives. Yeah, it's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy. Because this kid only represents a lot of others out there. A lot of others out there. And a lot of them, they just take in whatever is fed them. They don't even analyze it. Stop and question it. Question whatever they're being taught. They don't do that. You see? They may be living off the diet of misinformation. A lot of people, their diet is misinformation. They don't examine it.
Do you know? Wow. Do you know the name Rachel Morin?
No, I don't.
Wow.
Educate
Okay.
me. What
So
kind of...
Laken Riley was a girl at the University of Georgia.
Okay.
There was a peeping Tom, illegal alien, that was deported 5 times prior, and Biden kept on letting him back in. He hunted her down, raped her, sodomized her, and murdered her on a hiking trail, University of Georgia.
Okay, so
Rachel,
one person doesn't represent
hold
all
on a
illegal
second.
immigrants.
Every person who is killed by an illegal alien is one that should not happen. Every single one.
Of course, and also the ones that are
and
native born.
Everyone.
As
And
well
so
as
that's
the
the
ones who are
point.
native born.
Is that it's not a matter
As
of the
well as the people who are
rate.
native born.
The rate, even if I accept your premise, which is incorrect, the rate is irrelevant. The number is what's relevant. There should be 0 illegal aliens. There should be 0 Americans being killed by illegals.
So, okay.
Not to mention there's 6 other problems with the illegal aliens. They steal Social Security numbers. They depress wages. They are heavily involved.
true.
By the way, not to mention, a lot of people that cross on the southern border are also smuggling girls, weapons, and drugs alongside the southern border when they come. It's the largest slavery operation in American history that many illegal aliens help make possible on the southern border. And I guess the final question I'll have is, should a government serve its citizens first and foremost?
Yeah, of course. Well, okay, there's been many people who are like very political leaders who have said that this place is built off of immigrants.
Oh, is it? Wait, hold on. Let's think about that.
Sure.
First of all, it's legal, not illegal. But was America founded by immigrants or settlers?
Settlers.
That's not an immigrant.
Yeah. Okay.
An
Well, that's not
immigrant
my
is-
point. My point is
You
that
just
people
brought
who-
up the nation built by immigrants.
Yeah,
We're actually not.
because the political leaders have said that this place is built.
Yeah, and they're
from
wrong.
They're wrong. Political
yes.
leaders are wrong. George
Yes.
W. Bush is wrong. All these political leaders
Yes.
who have built
yes.
America.
By the way, the
wrong.
first person to say that was.
How is that wrong? When illegal
'cause
immigrants make, they grow the economy.
Okay,
Statistically,
allow me
studies.
again. Allow me to build it out for you.
Sure.
Immigrants have helped at times in American history, but we are first and foremost a nation founded by settlers. Immigrants come to a country already built. Settlers come to a barren place and build something new.
Right.
This land was barren when people came. In the 1840s gold rush, this was not an easy place to live.
Yeah.
California was not exactly industrialized. There was not immigrants coming west to California. Those were settlers building a new place around, Western values. Finally, I would just ask the question, do you see a moral distinction between a legal immigrant and an illegal immigrant?
Well, the argument is that they're cutting in line. Like, the argument is that they're cutting in line in the 20-year process that it would take for someone to cross illegally.
It's not 20, but yeah.
At most, it's 20. At most, it's 20. Right now, there's around, 1.2 million people who are currently waiting that would take 6 to 7 years for a hearing.
And by the way, no one has a right to come to this country, just to be clear.
Let me stay on track of what I was going to say. Okay, so people who come here, usually, almost all the time when they come here, they benefit society. They benefit society. There's studies that have done this.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but overall in general.
But no,
I
fundamentally disagree with that.
You can't disagree with a fact.
Hold on. Do you think Ilhan Omar has enriched the United States of America?
I don't know who.
Do you think Rashida Tlaib? I mean, I could go through person by person.
Sorry, I don't know these people. Are these people who have are illegal immigrants that have caused harm?
Yeah, again, if you don't know, I don't mean to pick on you. It's fine.
Okay.
But I guess the final question is, do you have any concern that there are too many people coming into this country and we're a nation of strangers, not a nation of neighbors?
If the people who are coming are creating America, making it more growing, like the economy is growing, then what harm is that doing? Especially if the people who are coming
are not... Because we're more than an economy, though, aren't we? We're a culture. We're a language.
Yeah,
we're
of course.
people.
Okay, so let's talk about that front. When they come here, they don't have any kind of... They're not committing as more crimes than the people who are already here. Again, that is a statistic.
We've already dispelled that. But
that is not... You can't dispel a statistic.
Let's take California. Do you think there's anything wrong that a majority of young people in California speak Spanish, not English?
Wait, sorry, can you say that?
Do you think there's anything wrong or troubling to the fact that a majority of people under the age of 30 here in this state speak Spanish, not English? Is there a problem with that?
Well, yeah, everyone should be able to have an ability to communicate with the rest of the crowd. So I don't know what the big issue of that
See, I think it's a huge problem when we have a nation where you can't communicate with your fellow neighbor.
Okay, simple solution. Teach them how to speak English. What is your point?
Yeah, and our schools don't do that, actually. And also, have a better solution.
Yeah.
Don't import a bunch of people that don't speak English.
You mean importing people who actually grow the economy?
Well,
who don't...
I reject your premise.
That's not a premise. That's a study that's been done.
Do you know what a premise is? I don't actually care as much about economic growth because we're one nation under. We're one nation under GDP. We're not one nation under GDP. We're a nation under God.
Yeah.
And when we lose social cohesion, and you import a bunch of people that don't share our values, that don't necessarily always assimilate, that's a major and serious problem. And we are a people first and foremost with a creed, and that creed is falling apart. Mass migration has not helped that creed. Yes, they might buy more trinkets. They might help depress wages. Mass migration, of course, can help.
All good things, all great things for America that needs.
Well, they help major corporations, but you know what they also do? They keep down the wages of working people. If you are a plumber, yes, of course. If you think about it, if you're a plumber, electrician, or a welder, and you have to compete against someone from Nicaragua who's willing to do it for $5 less an hour, that depresses the wages of the American citizen.
Right. Yeah, so there's been studies that have done that also counteract that. Illegal immigrants.
Well, let's use our reason.
Let's use our reason. Our studies.
Let's use our reason.
How about statistics?
How about our reason? So we've had mass migration for 20 years. Have wages gone up?
I don't know.
No, they haven't actually.
Yeah, okay.
So forget your studies. For 10 years we've had 30 million people come into America. Wages have gone down dramatically.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a reason why.
Okay.
So what I encourage you to do, just because there's a study that confirms, you should use your reason and look actually at self-evident truths. Be like, does that make sense? Can you name
statistics are self-evident
Well,
truths.
not always. Statistics are very
always?
misleading. Yes. Like, for example, I could say, did you know that 600 people a year die because of seatbelts? Well, that's a misleading statistic because over 100,000 lives are saved by seatbelts. That's an incomplete statistic.
Wait, okay, so so that's a gray area. So where's the gray area where people are talking about where 26% of illegal immigrants who come here commit less crimes than native born?
Okay, how many times have we been over this? That's just not correct.
Well,
it's
that
not
is
true.
correct. That is correct.
Every single crime. It doesn't matter about the rate.
This is a study that was done in Texas, the most diverse, second most diverse state.
Every crime an illegal commits is one that should never have happened.
Okay.
It is a period.
Yeah, of course,
they should not be here. So I don't care about the rate. The rate is irrelevant. So let me just ask one final question.
The rate is relevant.
Someone broke into the country and cut in line. What should happen to them?
Well, they're given. Ideally, there's a system. Ideally, there's a system that's merit-based, where these people then become part of the citizen. Like they become a legal citizen.
Yeah, I mean, we have clarity but not agreement. I say deport them all back to their country of origin and put Americans first.
That's not an appropriate solution.
Well, the American people voted for it, and it is appropriate.
It isn't appropriate because most of the people that do come here illegally contribute positively to society. Dude. Statistically, everything backs this.
You're not listening to anything I'm saying, and that's fine. They take jobs from Americans. They depress wages. They steal Social Security numbers. They commit a crime every single day that they're here. They flood our public schools. They flood our social services. They flood our hospitals. They are a burden on the taxpayer. They should go back and make their own country great again and apply and become a legal immigrant if they want to live here. Thank you very much.
I think people don't really give Charlie enough credit, ladies and gentlemen, because of the patience, the wisdom, the calmness of sharing truth with young Americans. It's rare nowadays. It's rare. You see, you would never hear him yelling or even insulting people. No. Just dialogue, pure dialogue, you see, that is conducted respectfully. No screaming, just talking. But ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest. If you want to make a Republican mad, you tell him a lie. But if you want to make a Democrat mad, tell them the truth. You see? It's crazy, right? It's crazy. And that's how divided it has become. Yeah. Kids are taught to repeat the same things that they are fed, especially from mainstream media. In other words, college is no longer teaching critical thinking. No, it's teaching obedience. You gotta obey. Because the thing is, some of these students, they're not necessarily bad people. No. But they are victims of misinformation. They are misled and totally convinced that they are right. That's the terrible part. You see? And yet there will be people who will still defend that position. They will defend that position. Yeah. Literally begging governments, institutions of power to take away their right because they think trading freedom for safety makes them good citizens. In other words, they want to follow the trends. If you get to follow the trend and you associate with the trend, you become cool somehow. You become cool by association. It's terrible. You see? That's terrible, ladies and gentlemen. Because the USA was built on sacrifice, not submission. In other words, freedom isn't free. See? Freedom isn't free. All gave some, and some gave all. Yeah. This kid, like so many, they actually think that the Biden administration was the hero, that censorship was protection. You see? And that feelings are more important than facts. See? And they don't realize that they're defending the very same institutions that lie, that manipulate, divide the country. And divide the country. Because when you ask them, where did you get that information? They will say, online. I got it online. Can you imagine? They don't question. They don't sit down. Question, is this biased? Has this been edited? Is this agenda driven? They don't do that. And it's really sad. It's really sad because a lot of these young people, they don't have a clue that they're defending the wrong stuff. They have no idea what real freedom, responsibility, or even sacrifice means. They don't have an idea. They will defend censorship, justify government overreach, and yet they will even think A lot of them, they think that President Trump is the problem. They think President Trump is the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, social media censors, the MSNBC networks, all those stuff, brainwashes, college indoctrinates. See? And now we are raising a generation that doesn't even realize that they are being controlled. They don't even realize it. And they like to call President Trump a liar. You see? While believing every scripted thing they hear on the television, on TV. See? And they like to use that word fascism, fascism. And they will cheer when the opposing voices are silenced. They will cheer. See? They will cry for freedom while handing their own freedom, to the illegals. It's terrible, right? It's terrible. Yeah. And I hope these people, these kids, especially this one, I hope that he thinks for long, thinks hard about this moment, that the seed was sown in his life. Hope he works up, because America needs young people who are willing to listen. You see, not just repeat whatever they see on TV. No, on television. I like to say television, okay? Yeah. I really hope that. I really hope so. Yeah. The pendulum is swinging and people are beginning to wake up. Yeah. And that's why conversations like these matters, ladies and gentlemen. These kind of conversations, they matter. Yes, we disagree, but can we at least sit down and have a conversation? See? Yeah. And if you agree, don't forget to also watch the next one and to subscribe and to leave your comment. I will see you next time.